Pickaxe.
With less than 10 subbed patrons left to go at patreon.com/castparty, the cast and crew is so close to finally cleansing Vince's poor, rolling, cursed hands. All filmed for your viewing pleasure. Want to take a look at the high-quality content we provide on our Patreon? Well, Sweat with Jet, our 150 Patreon stretch goal reward, is officially public. You can check it out on our YouTube page, link in the show notes. Although you're pretty behind, our patrons have been swolling for initiative for about a month now with their early access, along with their ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes exclusive hangouts, extra bonus one-shots, and so much more. So what are you waiting for? Join the cast and crew as a subbed patron and save us from Vince's incredibly poor rolls. Please, I'm begging you, I don't want Sebastian to die. We might even be doing a giveaway here shortly, including Cast Party Vault merch, a bunch of FanRoll dice sets, code CastParty for 10% off at fanrolldice.com, and so much more here soon to celebrate the Patreon. So hop on over, we'll see you there. Patreon.com/castparty. We can't wait to chat with you in the Discord. Thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy the episode, cast and crew.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Fables of Fendraeya, Wyldacre. My name is Jose Polino, or at DM Jose P, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by my itty bitty cast and crew. We'll go ahead and introduce them now with Ryan.
Hi, Ryan McManus, and I'll be playing Fiffin, the Maker Taker Hater Satyr. You can find me at rye.mcmanus on my personals or running the Cast Party socials at Cast Party D&D.
Next we have Nigel.
Hello, Nigel Deacon, playing Pond, your favorite froggy friend, hopefully finding a future family. You can find me at Nigel Sucks LMAO on every social that matters.
Betty.
Hello, this is Betty. I play Quinn, the mighty owlin, who is as righteous as she is now very, very small. You can find me at who.the.lovely on TikTok and Instagram.
And finally, we have Seth.
Hello, I am Seth. I am playing Cheese, the Corgi Shadow Monk / eventual Gloomstalker Ranger. You can find me at Noctopus on TikTok.
So last we met up, the group of you, fun traveling creatures of this realm, some of you creatures of this realm, others somewhat visitors, stumbled upon a gift, if you will, this baby, which you so adequately named Floor, as you found him on the floor. And with that, you decided to follow along the path of everyone else and head to Celebration, this wondrous, mysterious location where the Archfey of Wyldacre resides upon this entire domain, and present to the Archfey a gift. You decided, perfect, let's make it this gift. This baby is being trailed, it seems like, by a group of individuals. But no matter, you guys, quick on your feet, decided on a way of how to escape town, and in doing so, got stuck just on the outskirts of it in front of very tall grass. Here you met your first experience of what the rest of your journey might entail. A series of not necessarily even connected circumstances where the world itself is shaping around energies and around atmospheres, general behaviors. I mean, you can go on infinite miles about what this world will do and can do and should do. But nevertheless, Cheese got a little distracted by what seemed some call to him. Seemed like an owner of sorts was reaching out. Was not the case, as he stumbled upon a unicorn that was being devoured by this tall, grass-like, Sarlacc pit-esque domain. But sure enough, the baby cried, sending you all in a whirlwind of crazy amounts of wild magic, until eventually you calmed the baby. And in calming the baby, I believe it was Quinn who calmed the baby relaxed. The grass even decided to back off after experiencing all that you were being put through with this baby alone. And so you decided to continue on ahead as the grass itself lowered, became sort of subdued, and then you journeyed forth. As you sort of reached the outskirts of this big patch of farm grass, you all stumbled upon these mushrooms of different variant shapes and sizes and colors that when you decided to make camp, all seemed well. But when you woke up, you all noticed that every single one of you, except for Pond, was a itty bitty small. And so with that is where we pick up. As all of you, one by one, are beginning to wake up and quickly begin to realize that your size is much too small for your journey ahead.
Pond, why are you so big?
Huh?
You're gigantic. Did you grow?
Oh,
Down here.
what?
Down here.
Why are you all so small?
Wait, yeah, down here. Wait, what? Pod?
Pond?
Pond became a giant.
I don't... Wait. No, everything else is the same size. It's you guys that are small.
I don't know. I'm looking at everything. I'm the same size as I am, and Quinn and Fiffin are the same size as they are. You're the giant thing.
Well, but look at the mushrooms.
Look at the mushrooms.
Oh my gosh, they got giant too.
No, Cheese, it's us.
We got itty bitty.
We got small?
Man, this is weird.
What did you guys do?
We slept. What do you mean?
I hope I didn't do this.
I don't think you did, Pond. I think I know who might have, and Quinn is going to look pointedly at the cab.
That now as you turn around to see it, it is still its normal size, towering over all of you.
When you started that sentence, Quinn, Fiffin was running through excuses just automatically. But then you landed on the cab and you were like, oh, right, the baby, she wasn't accusing me. Right, okay, yeah. Oh, God.
I'll approach the cab. Floor. Excuse me, Mr. Babe. Excuse me, baby. That feels weird, too. Excuse me, magic baby. Can you undo this, please?
I don't think it can understand you.
You go up to this baby and now you notice Floor is fast asleep.
But okay. If it was Floor, why would Floor single out Pond to not be small? If anything, Floor would have singled out Quinn, because Quinn was the one who made him happy again. I feel like we all just kind of traumatized him a little bit.
We all traumatized him? He traumatized us!
Well, that's true, but I feel like it kind of goes both ways in this point. I don't think it was the grass that did this.
I was under my hat when we went to sleep. Maybe its magic couldn't see me.
As far as I'm concerned, that's as good an explanation as any.
Kinda all we have to go off of right now, so...
So what do we do now?
Pond, for you, because you have the highest passive, you hear the sounds around you as you're all having this conversation of like... It sounds like fluttering, fast and rapid all around you. But within the distance where it's hiding within something that you can't necessarily see. But you make out what looks like perhaps are wings that are just very rapidly passing past.
Excuse me, bug person, fairy, flying thing in the trees, please. Who are you? Hello?
Now, ain't so much that I'm a bug. And you would do good to put some respect on this here name. And you see from behind one of the mushrooms, a fairy that comes out with a very beautiful red skin, piercing white hair, matched with piercing white eyes. And the wings itself, this beautiful, elaborate, colorful wings that are comprised of different shades of iridescent, rainbow-like patterns. However, there is a certain element of this that reminds you of earlier when you guys were camping. The look of this fairy, if there's any kind of tunics or attire that it's meant to be wearing, it's not. And now that you can kind of see these red curls on its tummy that come up around its chest, and it's picking at its teeth with its nail. Now look, you might have been underneath your tinfoil hat there, whatever it is you're gonna call it. and then eventually from behind you see 2 more that come out that sort of very graciously land, but have a very kind of hillbilly look to them. As these fairies kind of emerge, you watch as the one that's speaking to you goes, "Look, I'll speak to you since you're the tallest of the group. Does that sound about fair?"
Okay. Also, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I only saw the wings. They're very pretty.
Well, no offense taken, little one. I like the, era of mystique that flows around you. You seem not of this world, but somehow part of it at the same time. You're really intriguing to me.
You are right on many levels.
Helio's the name. Best remember that one, as it'll serve you in the future for whatever comes to you in this here part of Wyldacre. And honestly, your journey heading forward, I could perhaps get you in and out of any old sorts of trouble. Now, the problem is, if we're being 100% honest, well, let's begin here. Formalities first. Who do I have the pleasure speaking to?
My name's Pond, and it's a pleasure to meet...
Pond, and just cuts you off. Pond, fantastic. Now let me ask you this, Pond. How much do you value your journey going forward? Because I'll tell you this, if we're being 100% candid about this, it is I and my compatriots here that shrunk you down to this itty-bitty size. Not so much you, as well. The world around you is already plenty big, and we just didn't wish to shrink you down to a molecule level to the point where the starlets themselves would not even know where to comprehend the topic of creation. Do I make any sense to you, Pon?
No.
Fantastic. Now, let me tell you this. You have 2 options, Pon, and by 2 options, I simply mean 1 option. Give us everything you own, all properties, titles, clothes, everything you have, or we will go ahead and kill you savagely. Now, don't fret, don't get too upset about this, right? We mean no harm. We're just simply interested in all your belongings, every possession, every familiar thing that has ever held some part in your achy breaky heart. And what we would like to do is strip you of all of that so we can continue on our journey and then you may continue on yours. Perhaps we may return you back to your normal stature, or perhaps we'll end up killing you regardless. So that is your option, Pond. What say you?
Wouldn't it be so much nicer if we were just friends, though?
Pond will play a note on his lyre and cast Fast Friends. I'll need you to make a wisdom save. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. While the creature is charmed in this way, it undertakes to perform any services or activities you ask of it in a friendly manner to the best of its ability.
That's a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Now hold up. Were you trying to do something?
Just become friends. We don't have a lot, so I figured we'd just be friends.
But what do you have? That's what matters.
No, I have this fruit.
I like your lyre.
That's too bad. You can't have that. It is a nice lyre. I understand why you like it, but you can't have it.
Jose, how far away are they?
The 2 behind you are anywhere from about 10 to 15 feet away. And there's the one that is standing fairly close to Pond, but keeping a good distance.
Would Hunter's Mark be something that is seen and heard by others, or is that just like, can I do that secretly?
Roll a stealth check for me if you wish to stealthily just kind of whisper the incantation.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
Woof.
What does you performing Hunter's Mark look like?
As I'm growling, a black smoke starts to coalesce lightly around me, and then when I bark at him to do the verbal component, that smoke it dissipates, like it shoots outwards from me. It's probably very visible.
As that effect takes place in the space around you, the one that had his attention fixed on you goes, "Now looky here, boss. This one tried to do something mighty dangerous to me and well, my brother." You watch as Healer goes, "Now look, Pond, we came to you simply letting you know where we stand. We fairy folk are kind, gracious folk, and all we wish to do was to strip you of all belongings that you've ever held so close to that itty bricky heart that you want to hold on so beautifully and righteously to such a degree that, hell, me asking you this request would send you on a spiral. But since you don't want to do that, we have no other option than to simply," and then as he's talking, You then hear sound rustling, and I'll say, Fiffin, from where you're kind of sitting, its sound is coming from your direction behind the mushrooms and stuff. The same kind of fluttering sound, but also matched with like a haste to it.
We got some more company to the left.
Helio, I'm gonna tell you this one time. I have no problem with eating you. If you don't leave us alone, I'm going to.
Make an intimidation check.
That's a nat 20 plus
Let's
7.
go!
Let's go.
All right.
Come on, dude.
Now I knew there was something fishy about you. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll begin by killing you. And you watch as his hand goes up, and then immediately, Fiffin, from next to you, another fairy emerges from behind the mushrooms. But this one is in that same red hue to their skin, but actually dressed. There is a sort of what looks like a purple-like vest that is buttoned up with these very beautiful like buttons, but are not really buttons, they're just smaller mushrooms. The wings again in that beautiful tone, and then not necessarily pants, but what looks like a long flowy skirt. And this individual emerges. Now Helio, hold on there a second. What do you think you're doing? And immediately Helio kind of, oh my apologies, Theric. Just trying to make some friends is all.
No, you're not.
This individual now, who has that similar set of silver hair, split down the middle, beautifully brushed. This one, apart from the dialect, seems more like your standard run-of-the-mill fairy. There is a degree of mysticism to the way in which he even stands. There is these like small firefly-like lights that are just emanating from around his face, around the wings, that you now notice is missing from the other three fairies. Everyone, do apologize for the inconvenience. Helio here is a bit of a troublemaker, and he finds himself in this situation quite constantly. Please, give me a second. And you watch as Helio goes, no, Theric! Theric pulls out like a small little satchel, takes this dust. When he blows it, you all feel your insides kind of tighten, almost in a dizzying spell. You shoot back up to regular size.
Oh.
Hey.
And Helio goes, now, damn, Theric, the only thing we wanted was to strip it. And he goes, I've heard it all before, Helio. You want to split people of their belongings into things? It's all a bunch of horse shit. Go ahead and head back to the tree. And you watch as the three fairies, they begin to flutter back. Except the one that was looking at you, Cheese, is sort of like eyeing Floor and the carriage and Baby, which now that carriage is open. And he looked back and he goes, hey, boss, you want us to take care of this one?
Fuck off, Helio!
Floor!
Closes again. The arcane lock seals itself. Before he can say anything, he looks back at Theric and begins to fly now. And now you notice, from where you guys are standing, there is a massive treant making their way in that northward fashion. However, now in the daytime, more of these fairies seem to be making its way in a spiral-like fashion to the very top of this tree. Theric, he looks to all of you and he goes, apologies, none of this happened. Again, my sincerest apologies. Again, I have been Theric. We wish you the best of luck in your journeys. Please don't mention this to the Archfey, and we hope you have a most magnificent celebration at the end of the day. And begins to fly in the direction of the tree.
Thank you, Theric.
A quick question, though. Theric stops halfway. If I may ask, what exactly is that thing? I mean you no harm. I do not wish to eat you, nor strip you of your personal belongings or all those kinds of things. But what is that thing right there?
Pond makes a noise with his throat that sounds like his stomach is rumbling and just like licks his lips while staring at Theric.
Are you wishing to intimidate him?
Sure, why not?
Give me an intimidation check.
Okay, not as good. It's only a 24.
Oh, get out of here.
Theric kind of stops a bit of a distance from you, and he goes, again, ain't meaning no harm. We just getting ourselves all ready for our small celebration to the celebration. And you just happen to stumble upon a couple bad fairies. That's all right? If you don't wish to tell me whatever that thing is, ain't none of my business. Just a little curious is all. Should you guys need some help in transportation, better to hop on one of them trees right over there. Or if you wish to journey with us, feel free to do so. I will guarantee that Helio will not be bothering you of any sort. And now I feel like now I'm just overdoing it and you all are starting to probably not trust me as much. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my leave. The invitation does stand if you wish to follow. Anyways, have a good morning.
Thank you, Theric.
If I see Helio again, I'm going to eat him.
Okay.
It's not a threat. It's just a statement of fact.
You know, thank you, Pond.
Yes.
That was handled beautifully.
That was incredible. You got me scared.
You guys can see his heart just pumping like out of his chest. Like,
I wasn't sure whether to love you or be absolutely terrified of you. It was perfect.
It was impressive.
I don't like that part of me. It's the part of me my family brings forth. But it comes in handy. And he did look like something I've eaten a lot of, so.
Well, we're all really glad that you were here to help us out with that.
Mm.
And I'm really glad that you guys are normal sized again. Being the tallest one is too much pressure.
I don't know how you do it, Fiffin.
Hey, it's all right up here. I was going to say, if you ever want to be tall again, just let me know.
Fiffin, as you say that, anytime let me know. You instinctively go to reach for your component pouch. Missing.
You bastards. Well, there was only like 3 things in it anyway, because y'all made me get rid of my lavender, so... Oh, it's not worth it. They're not worth it. They're not worth it.
Wait, does everyone else have everything they had?
Do you guys have your gifts? Did they steal the gifts?
Cheese immediately begins rummaging through his pack.
Yeah, I'm double checking all my stuffs.
I need all of you to give me one item that you have in your possession currently, and that item has to be gone. I'll let you pick what that item is, but it has to be an item that you believe, in character in the moment, you would have had.
Not my signed copy of Space Jam.
Honestly, if it was components pouch and or near things that were on my belt, it probably would have been Pert's oil of slipperiness, because Fiffin wasn't sure how to accept that gift, and he probably wouldn't have stored it properly or cared too much to remember that it's there to safeguard it.
unfortunately, it's either Pond's dagger or the potion of climbing that he got. His lyre is tied to him all the time, and his short bow exists around his hip. It's so small.
Let's go with your dagger.
Okay.
I think that danger fruit really would have been the easiest thing to pull out of my bag.
Not the fruit.
It was a good fruit.
I hope they hurt themselves on the fruit.
So it's either going to be Quinn has this like pair of like wooden carved manacles that she keeps with her in case she needs to get anybody taken care of, or her shield. She has a birch carved shield. It's just on her pack so she can, whip it out if she needs it.
Then let's go with your shield. You all begin to look around and you notice all of these different things missing from your person.
My components pouch. Oh, and Pert's gift, I guess. My components pouch!
Dang it, they got my fruit.
Not my dagger.
I feel like it might be worth traveling with the ferries in case we run into Helio again to get our shit back. Because now I'm angry.
We just gotta make sure, if we do that we tie everything else we own to our person.
And that leaves Floor up for God knows what.
Oh, that's the other thing.
You notice that Floor's eyes have like a red powder, almost like crushed diamonds that are just sitting on the very tops of the eyelids, but they're closed. And he is breathing, but there is a faint sort of residue on the tops of the eyes.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic, specifically on the dust, to see if this is like giving him some kind of effect or if he's like under any kind of magical effect by this stuff.
When you cast Detect Magic and you feel a strong sense of enchantment, and it is fresh enchantment, like this must have happened in the minutes that gate was open, as there is no technical means for any arcane anything to pass through, but since it was opened, something snuck past. And there is also a level of transmutation as well to this magic.
I don't think this is very good for him, and I'm gonna take my pointer feather and dust off the red dust.
When you try to, it's like, honestly, like Pop Rocks. It's if you had licked them or you put them on a wet surface, they're stuck.
No!
Ugh.
Guys, I don't think Flora's doing very good, but he's sleeping soundly.
There is a touch of that red flake that spreads ever so faintly.
Guys?
Yes? What's up?
It's like growing. It's spreading.
What's growing?
The red stuff.
Where did that come from?
It had to have happened when the door was open. I don't know. It must have been one of the fairies.
It was barely open for like 2 seconds.
That's the only time somebody could have done anything to him.
You sure it's not just something that he's going through? You said it yourself, the longer he's here, the more weird shit happens to him. Is it not just that?
There's a thing I heard of back in where I'm from that happens to a lot of people called puberty. Maybe this is that.
What is puberty?
It's when, well, you know, as you get older, you start to notice a lot of things changing about your body.
Oh, like when you lose your tail.
Yeah, like when you lose your tail and you grow things and you'll lose other things.
Oh, like when your horns first sprout. You know, they start off real small, but then as you get older, they learn to grow.
Yeah. Maybe this is just what happens to babies when puberty happens.
If he were awake, I would think you were right, Fiffin. But he's asleep. There's no stimuli to make him go haywire.
Well, then what does that mean? Do we go bug the fairies? Do we just trek on and hope that the Archfey can take care of this? What's the plan here?
I don't trust the fairies.
The less amount of time we can be around them, the better.
Quinn, as you guys are having this conversation, from the baby's eyes, these like crystals almost like protrude out. So now Flora has these like crystals that are coming out essentially jaggedly from the cheekbones outward.
Bad things are happening. It's bad. We need to make a decision. I don't know what to do. I think we have to go back to the fairies.
How are we possibly going to convince them to reverse this?
They did try to jump us. Maybe they owe us one.
We try to jump them!
I'm pretty good at jumping.
Perfect.
I think we just go back to Theric.
But they're in a tree.
Which you now see is lumbering forward at a fairly good pace. Those strides are fairly long, but it is not too far away from you guys in that northern direction you were heading. Which, again, now still looking at it, there are multiple of these treants that are now all sort of walking in unison in the same direction.
Is it obvious which one is the fairies?
I actually still have Hunter's Mark on that guy.
Oh!
Yeah!
There you go.
Yeah!
Whoa!
Yeah!
There is a tree that is sort of like directly ahead of you guys, and then there's one that's like off to the left. That one seems to be the one.
I lost track of them when they left, but I know they headed in that direction.
Is it time to go mess up some fairies?
I think it is.
Geez, we can eat one.
I'm excited for that.
All right, I'll put Floor back into the cab.
As you put him in, the two sort of jagged pieces form into one and create a solid crystal across the ice.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Maybe we should open up these presents that Fiffin made for us, just in case Helio tries to rob us again. We'll know what it is that he tried to take.
Yep. They'll help us, too, especially if we're going to be bonking.
That's a weird verb.
Open and walk?
Open and walk?
Okay.
It sounds good to me. We gotta see, if we're jumping them, we gotta come up with a plan. Are we just waltzing into this tree? We'll figure it out.
I mean, I think if we just said, Theric, you did some shit to our baby, Theric would be like, oh, me? Oh, I'm just a little guy. Like, I think it would be, we'd figure it out. He would be receptive, I think.
So, try to talk it out first, and then if things go wrong, eat the butterflies.
Yes.
Got it.
But right now I think it's presents time.
Present time!
Yep. Saint Syphilis. Here for presents. Whatever you guys called me, I don't remember.
So who wants to open theirs first?
You should.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I tear into the wrapping paper.
Oh, maybe not with your mouth. Remember I said there was poop on it.
Okay, I'll just use my paws to open this.
There you go. That's where they belong anyway, because, Cheese, as you open your present, it is a pair of leather dog booties. The leather dog booties have copper soles on the bottom. As you run around and get the zoomies, the copper conducts the electricity from your movement. It runs up these coils that are on the outside of each of the boots to charge up your tiny little feet. This allows you to cast Misty Step without using a spell slot after you've traveled 100 feet to charge up the boots.
What?
Whoa.
Cute.
After using it, the coils have to cool down and will recharge again on a short rest.
That's awesome.
That's sick.
That's so cool.
For listeners as well, Jose let me have a lot of freedom with these items, so these are not actual artificer infusions, as you can tell. Oh, and just to keep you busy while, the others open their gifts, I also made you this, and it's a dog collar.
Put it on.
I wrap it around, and then I click a little button on the front with a laser pointer that stays at a set distance, so you can just chase it around.
He immediately takes off after it.
All right, he's good. The battery lasts a while. I have a remote. I can turn it on and off. That's just for me.
Thanks, Fiffin.
Yeah, I got you.
Cheese, as you begin to chase after the laser, the coils begin to instinctively generate that spark of energy. So you're essentially charging it as you're going.
I love it. That's so cool.
Quinn, why don't you go next?
No, you go, Pond. You go. You saved our lives. You go first.
it's
Yes.
Please,
Pond.
please. No,
Pond.
I can't. It's
Pond.
you. Please, no, I can't. I can't do that. No, it's
no.
Quinn. You gotta. Please, it's.
Fine. I will go next, Pond.
Quinn, yours is a little tinier, about the size of like a coin, I guess you could say. It is a monocle, because you're a little tiny owl, and owls need a monocle.
Oh my god.
The monocle has copper casing and a very long chain. Each side of the monocle contains a singular firefly encased in a small hard bubble. It is a frozen bubble that sits on either side of the monocle. The right one glows purple, while the left one glows green. When you make an insight check, you can roll with advantage to try to scope out others' true intentions. If true, the green firefly glows. If they're lying, the purple firefly glows. But this is more to like what you believe to be true. They're not always accurate. It's more of a guide, I guess. The light from the fireflies can also help with your investigation skills. You can roll with I believe Jose and I agreed on +5 to investigation rolls.
Whoa.
As long as you're using the monocle to look at whatever you're investigating.
On top of my modifier already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Sherlock
yeah,
Quinn.
dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Everyone else, while you watch Quinn lift the monocle up, Fiffin is giggling to himself a little bit, just... And her eye is enormous, like it's looking through a funhouse mirror.
Quinn is gonna put it on and like look down and like look at her feathers, like, oh my god, and then look up like with one giant eye back at Fiffin.
Whoa, okay, chill.
Fiffin, this is the best gift anyone has ever given me.
I didn't realize it was gonna be that big.
I love it. I'm gonna turn to Pond. How do I look?
Whoa. Your eyes are almost as big as mine.
I'm gonna go look at some mushrooms and see if I can't see them growing by the moment. Thank you, Fiffin.
Pond is kind of like just nervously holding the present.
Are you sure? Are you sure I deserve whatever this is? You gave it to me right after I hurt you guys.
Absolutely. This is gonna help keep us safe, honestly. It's not gonna seem like it is, but I promise it does.
Oh, okay.
He'll open the package.
So this is kind of for everybody, but we're gonna have you hold on to it. So it's a tape recorder. It is a small rectangular wooden box. A large clear blue coil runs up the left side. On top sits a large hollowed out sunflower that acts as a microphone. The front of the box looks like a grated screen of an amplifier with a speaker sitting underneath, but the protective grate itself is made of frozen spiderwebs. A springy mushroom top sits on the right side and acts as an eject button for the back of the device, with something already stuffed inside the body of the tape recorder. You can record a spell into the mic and play it back through the tape recorder to cast it without using a spell slot. It allows one spell to be stored at a time and cast at a bonus action if it's a first level. If not, it just takes your normal action. So if one spell is on it, you can then continuously cast that spell without a spell slot, but it's only once per day because it has to recharge. Again, it can only have one song recorded from you at a time.
Does that mean that if something has a long cast time, I could cast it instantly?
That's a Jose question.
How about we wait and see?
Okay.
Wow. I have no idea what half the things you said mean, but... Oh, wait. So if I do this...
And he presses the button and starts humming with his like frog throat, and he's gonna throw Shatter in there.
You do have to use that spell slot to put it in there, but then from here on out, you can cast that once per day without using that spell slot.
Yeah.
Well, so now it's in there. It's, what's the word? Thematic, because that's the thing that I had to cast when Baby was doing the thing. Whatever. And he's just holding it now, and he doesn't know what to do with it.
And now it's stored for whenever you need it. It's nice and safe in there. There's a couple other things in the back, and you can go over that whenever you would like. But yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Thank you, Fiffin. This is really cool, I think.
There's a tape in your tape recorder as well, pre-installed.
What does that do?
Oh, I found it while I was out foraging one day. No idea.
Okay, great. I love surprises.
Under the eject mushroom, there's numbers 1 through 6.
All right. Well, we're going to find out what those do later.
We're going to figure this one out. This will be a fun adventure we all go under.
You guys are now walking amongst these sets of rolling hills, amongst these massive treants. Sure enough, around you though, each one of the trees seems to house a different group of individuals.
I think I saw them flying around here somewhere. We're getting really close.
Do you remember which tree it was?
It's in this area for sure.
You should have peed on it.
I should have peed on it. I'll mark them when I get there.
How far away is the tree that Cheese thought it looked like that's the one they went to?
Fairly close, about 40 or so feet away from you.
I think we need to get them to stop, because this is about to get real confusing. I think I have an idea.
As you are sort of like looking at all of the trees, you notice that the one that you're sort of keeping your eye out on doesn't have a spiraling staircase that leads up to the very crown of the tree. A lot of the other ones do, but this one does not.
Oh, that tree over there. That one looks like it'd be real easy for something that flies to get in.
As we're approaching, Pond will do a mixture of playing the lyre, just playing a couple metronome type beat, where it's just single notes plucking in rhythm, and we'll do a single kind of scale of ribbit croaking sounds, and it's very hypnotic. I'm going to try and cast Hypnotic Pattern up where that cluster of Ents is, that tree in particular, one that doesn't have the spiral staircase or anything like that. It's a 30-foot cube, so anything within 30 feet has to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's a natural 20.
Well,
They're not going to stop?
No. I'll pick up the pace.
It was a lovely song.
I am going to drop down an overly large sunflower head onto the floor, raise the gauntlet up as the green gem on the back glows, and just a little laser points out at the end.
Cheese takes off after the laser.
Oh, wait, no!
Oh,
it's
no.
going to come back, don't worry!
Jeez!
Can it make a Constitution saving throw?
It's a 13.
It fails! It's a 15! I'm casting Vortex Warp. You magically twist the space around another creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a con save, or the target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. The chosen space must be on a surface or a liquid that can support the creature.
Fiffin points this green laser and Cheese, you instinctively just want to chase after it. But from the very tip of the laser, this spiraling darkness begins to emanate from it. And you watch as the treant takes one step, and all of a sudden when it goes to lift his left foot, essentially, his left trunk, it gets pulled. And you watch as it goes, what is up?
I threw the enlarged sunflower head probably maybe 10 feet in front of us, just so it could like come back and we would have time to jump on.
You see then the sunflower, this beautiful, delicate, immaculate coloration to it, that the seeds on the inside begin to pop, almost like popcorn. But when they pop, they turn into just butterflies. And as it sort of goes faster and faster and faster until each one of the sunflower seeds completely extinguish, you wait for a second. And just this huge creature emerges from within the sunflower in the space in front of you and crash lands into space. From above it, the fairies now sort of fly outward in the space and are sort of like running around and flying all above it.
I look back at everyone. Your taxi to the festival has arrived?
Holy shit, Fiffin.
Yeah, that's a new one I've been trying. First time it's worked.
No better time for it to work I couldn't think of.
I'll hop on. I'll jump up as high as I can.
Let's go.
What's your jumping distance?
Distance is same as my walking speed, which is 25. Height, it's 15 feet.
You land at a fairly good height on one of the branches that is kind of coming out from the side of its face where generally an ear would be placed. You're able to reach there as the very top of the tree stands at that 20-25-ish range.
Come on, guys.
How do we get Floor onto this?
Oh, yeah.
If he's still attached to you, Cheese.
And you look back, Quinn. Floor now, the red crystal is like almost like a headband coming all the way around.
Oh no.
From the band, more of these crystals coming out that are just almost like engulfing the top of the head.
Oh. I got it. I'm on it. Okay. Cheese, your backpack!
I have it right here.
I'm gonna cast Reduce on the cab with Floor inside.
He's just a little guy.
Just the littlest guy.
Just a little guy.
You watch as the carriage and Floor just reduce.
Okay. I'll take him with me, I guess.
Good luck, be safe.
Running alongside the tree. Can I shadow step up there? Are there enough shadows, would you say?
On the opposite side of the tree, essentially, where the light from this ethereal realm is coming from, you can see the shadow of the tree itself. So on the back side of it, essentially opposite side of where Pond is, you're able to shadow step, no problem.
I'm running alongside then, and I shift over to where the shadow is, and as I'm running, I just kind of sink down into the shadow, and then I'll pop up, and then get to where Pond is.
Pond and Cheese are on the tree, and then Fiffin and Quinn.
Can you get up there all right, Fiffin?
If my legs decide to work, we'll see. Not my actual legs, the armor on the legs. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna Mirthful Leaps, which I can add a D8 whenever I make a long jump or a high jump, and add that number to my distance. Oh my god, that's an 8. I don't know what my normal jump is, but add 8 to that.
I think it's your strength, right?
Yeah, so it's a number of feet equal to 3 plus your strength modifier.
Oh, so 11 feet. I'll have to climb a little bit.
You jump, and as soon as you jump, Cheese and Pond, you notice Fiffin make a fairly good effort to get up to the tree and land just about its waist and just sort of hold on there. And you hear the tree.
Hitching for a ride there, creature?
Please help!
What's the magic word?
I said please!
Incorrect.
Damn it!
Picks you up essentially by what would be your trousers, if you will, and lift you up and sort of hold you but now it's carrying you and you're dangling as it is just kind of carrying you like a bug that it wants to take out, but it's just still holding you.
Quinn's gonna fly up to talk to the Entes as it's walking. Hi, so sorry about my friend. We just need a quick ride. We just need to chat with some fairies and then we'll be out of your hair, literally.
Speaking too fast.
Right. My friend and we are going to hitch a ride so we can talk to some fairies. Just one bit and we'll be out of your hair. Please.
What's the magic word?
Bazooka?
Is it what?
Is it what?
Now that is correct.
Oh my god, it's too early for this.
Takes Fiffin, brings him around to one of the branches.
Hang on there, little one.
Yup, got no choice.
The road is long.
Oh, okay. I thought there was more to that sentence. Where is everybody?
As you are all now sitting on the branches of this tree ant, you can't escape the fluttering and the look of what looks like hundreds of eyes looking right at all of you. And then you hear a familiar voice. You took my invitation. That's incredible of you to join us upon this journey to celebration. You have joined us on a really fantastic day. Now, we'll say, just out of curiosity, did you bring that thing that you didn't want to tell me about? If you didn't, that's fine. But if you did, I may have somewhere for you to place that thing. But I know that I probably sound untrustworthy at this point because of the previous conversation we had where Helio and his friends were trying to do some stuff. So it's really up to you at this point what you wish to do. If not, you can join us because I hope you're hungry.
What did you do to Floor?
I'm sorry? What's a floor?
That's what it's called.
Oh, that thing that you don't want to tell me about? You want to tell me about it now?
It's called Floor, and what did you do to it?
No, hold on there. Hold on. I know you're getting a little excited. Now, give me 1 second. All right, the rest of you, shoo off! And you watch as the rest of the fairies, they just kind of like perk up, and he goes, that's right, you heard me. Go ahead, shoo off. Go ahead and give him Achilles. Go ahead, shoo off. And all of the fairies, they flutter out. And some of them sort of remain, the younger looking ones, if you will. But for the majority, they all sort of like go back to their own area where now as the dead silence and all you can hear is those thundering steps of the treant, you hear what sounds like the plucking of strings. And the sound begins to play as the fairies sort of go back to another space within the center top of the head of this tree. I just had a question. So Floor is the name of this, is it fair to say creature? Is that what you're all calling it?
As far as we know.
All right, now, okay, well, mighty fine with me. Not really too much of my concern anyways. I was just interested in the little guy, that's all. Well, I'll tell you what. You have now joined us. Welcome, first of all, to, excuse me, sir. Now, what is your name? I don't think I've quite remembered it clearly. And you watch as the tree goes.
Now my name is Ancient.
Pleasure to meet you, Ancient. Theric is the name. Well, welcome on top of Ancient. We here take great pride in our journey over to Celebration, where we personally, fairies, don't feel a kinship to the Archfey as a lot of you folks do. However, we do like to make a presence and like to be, cordially in the space, in order to save face and all those kinds of things. I feel at this point I'm probably blathering on a little too much, but make yourself at home. We are having ourselves a bit of a little fairy celebration this evening, which, look, you can join us if you'd like. Now, I know that Helio and his brothers and his friends and all those kinds of people were probably being a little mean to you, but you can rest assured that with me and Michaelius, you ain't got to worry about a single thing. From the center of the tree comes this fairy, a little bit bigger than the rest, purple skin, vibrant, almost like diamonds that are shining off of its bare chest, long silver hair that comes down to the waist, and what look like feathers and twigs that are in the hair, sort of giving it a crown-like look, with a very short kilt of sorts. As it descends down, the kilt itself changes colors. We have some guests. Now, Theric, why didn't you introduce me to your friends here? Theric turns around and goes, well, now see, Achilles, these aren't my friends. These are just some people that Helios was trying to do, his 1-2 on, and I went ahead and I beat him to it. Watches this individual named Achilles says, now that is mighty admirable of you, Theric. Perhaps you may have one more piece of pie after all. Woo-wee! Now, that's really exciting. Thank you so much, Mr. Twinklehope. Achilles, sir, your grace, right? Is that what we call you now? Okay, well, I'm just gonna go. I'll stay behind. I'll let you speak. Achilles stands, or sort of glides above in this tree space, very calm and collected. All right there now. Welcome all. It looks like a Sentry here has granted you passage upon this, what some would call, I don't know, mighty vessel of sorts. We ourselves fairies are making our way on over to Celebration. We're very excited for you guys to join us. There's just a couple of rules to follow, if you will. Rule number 1, have fun. We're gonna eat so much pie, all of your bellies is gonna hurt till the next sunrise, which here in Wyldacre is eternally. So your tummies will be hurting for quite some time. Rule number 2, don't eat too much pie. Because if you eat too much pie, then your bellies will be hurting for quite some time until the eternal sunset takes you and your corpse to that great horizon. So make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yes.
Nope.
Wonderful. And rule number 3, no roughhousing. You deal with your problems. That sound fair?
Actually, dealing with our problems is what we're doing here right now because we need to ask you some help.
Okay. Well, that probably makes a lot more sense. What is the problem, if I may ask?
I look to the rest of the group for affirmation that it's okay that I show him floor.
Yeah, let's show him.
Okay. Follow me up to the open space up there. Hop away up to the top of the tree.
As soon as you arrive, what you see is amongst all of the branches here that are now sort of very tight and compacted together, it's series of interconnecting bridges and makeshift homes of all different kinds of colors and sizes, where each one of these fairies seems to be emerging from, coming in from, and all of that, all sort of above. But when you look down, in the space where you sort of landed, it seems fairly big. But within it, in a much smaller size, almost to the size that you were all shrunken down to, seems like a small little carnival or festival of sorts is happening within. As within these small twigs and branches, there are what look like banners and all different kinds of clothing that are hung up, and it just looks like flags and decorations. And there in the center, you see a couple of fairies that seem to be tuning some instruments and beginning to play, as a banner across the sort of center of this space says, "Pie me up, a celebration of pie." And as soon as Achilles lands, he goes, "Now, if it perhaps would be all right with you, I could perhaps shrink you down to a much more manageable size where you're able to at least stay within one of these little homes if you wish."
Yeah, well, let me show you what we needed help with before we decide about what size we're gonna be.
All right, let's begin there. That sounds mighty fine. All right, and you watch as Achilles takes his kilt and brushes it off as he's about to sit, but just sits in the space around him, sort of still kind of floating in the air, and the wings spread out in a very beautiful pattern outward in a purple and blue tone.
I pull my pack off and uncinch it and kind of wriggle the cart and floor free from it.
Do you want me to make them big again?
Probably.
Okay. I will drop concentration on reduce.
As soon as you begin to take out floor from your pack, you watch as Achilles, he kind of like is very concentrated on the baby, and then you break the concentration and floor enlarges once again to its normal size, cart and all. Oh, whoa.
Sorry, should have warned you.
Now this is a mighty gift you have here. How come you buy this?
That's not important right now. What's important is that your people did something to him, and now he's got these red crystals on his eyes.
Floor is essentially now completely covered, crystal essentially now coming down on his back.
Oh, God.
but his entire part, the only thing that is left over is the mouth.
The crystals aren't supposed to be there.
And they started growing right after an interaction with you.
With me? It's the first time I met you all.
With the fairies.
Well, with Theric and Helio.
It couldn't have been Theric. He's my most trusted advisor.
Well, it's either him or Helio, and he's the one that yelled at Helio.
That blasted Helio. All right, I think I kind of know what this is, but I'm not too sure to what degree or how much powder he used. Let me go find Helio, okay? Y'all go ahead and just wait right here for me. I'll be right back.
Okay.
When he gets back, don't eat him.
I'm gonna... Oh.
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
You can eat him after. You can eat him after. Eat him after.
Okay.
Taking a lot of willpower.
It'll be worth the wait.
As this is happening, the smaller, much smaller fairies that you're seeing now are sitting amongst makeshift tables. And they're having, for lack of better words, they're having a pie eating contest.
Well, we could wreck a pie eating contest between all four of us, I'm just saying.
I have no doubt.
It is a festival. It is chattering and talking amongst fairies, the slight sort of twinkling of what sounds like wind chimes all throughout the space, as there are what looks like childlike fairies that are sort of flying around feverishly around the space, casting in a smattering of colors all around the skies that resemble that of fireworks. So you would think that for where their size is, this just looks like an evening out. But after a beat, you watch as being held by the ear, Michelius brings Helio. Now Helio, yes, Twinkle Hope, it's Michelius to you. All right, sir. Now, what'd you do to this individual's thing? It's turning red like this. It looks like some type of well, you know what it looks like. It's just a little bit of jasper is all.
A little bit.
That doesn't look like a little bit.
Fix it.
Well, it's not my problem. If y'all had played ball and had given me what I asked for, perhaps we wouldn't have needed to have used as much jasper as we did.
Give us the anti-jasper then.
Yeah.
There ain't no anti-jasper. This thing will become a stone of jasper to be gifted to the Archfey himself. That's all we wanted. And you watch as Michelius goes, now what did you do? We just wanted to present something to the Archfey. And he goes, we do not present anything to the Archfey, Helio. You understand me? I do, sir. Now you go on and find me a remedy for this. Immediately. And Helio kind of turns around and flies down in this space where the festival of sorts is kind of happening.
While he's flying away, Pond will just shout after him,
Remember what'll happen if you don't.
and then more of the stomach gurgling croaks.
Turns around, looks to you, closes his eyes slightly, narrows them in on you, and then points to you, and then flies away.
I'm in his head.
That you probably are. Look, I'll tell you this. I can't say what precisely is happening to this thing, but we use a little bit of jasper around the fairy camps that we live in just to put some of our smaller ones to sleep. That's all. Now, as far as the crystallizing, whatever is happening around this beautiful dome of his, I cannot explain just exactly what that is, but he should be fine. He's only sleeping, is all. So we should be able to come up with some teas or some type of remedies or something that the apothecary might have, and perhaps heal this thing. What's this thing so important to you? Quinn, you hear in your head, it is in your best interest, there, flying creature, to remain quiet about this baby that you possess. Do good. If you wish to leave it in my quarters, you may do so. But presenting this baby in front of all these fairies, that's not the best thing right now. And you watch as Michelius sort of is still talking as that was happening, but it's just sort of rambling on about what to do and, what potentially could be done to help remedy this.
I'm just gonna look at him really intensely. I want him to know I heard him.
So, well, look, it's getting a little late for me. I've had too much power ready for the day. I probably will go ahead and turn in. But like I mentioned, and he goes ahead and reaches into a pouch and takes a small little green bag, and he tosses it over to you, Fiffin. Just sprinkle a little bit of this over the top of that good old noggin of yours. You'll shrink down to a wee bit small size, and then you should be able to rest for a while. We'll talk later, all right? I just need a bit of a, as the normal people call it, a bit of a restful sleep. I don't rest. Oh, flies off.
Okay.
You now have in your possession what essentially looks like a green satchel comprised of leaves.
You all tell me what's kind of the plan here while we wait for the remedy. Do we want to sprinkle and shrink? I feel like we'd enjoy the pie a little bit more if we were tiny, but
I would like a lot of that pie in my stomach. The sooner the better.
What is pie?
Oh, Pond.
you know that fruit you got earlier?
Yes.
They take a bunch of different kinds and they shove them into a pan. Sometimes there's a crust and they do something to it and then it comes out smelling real good.
And tasting real good.
So this is a thing that is enjoyable to eat?
Yes.
Very.
Interesting. No meat?
Can be.
Oh.
I think more of them don't have meat than do.
I don't know why people would eat fruit if there's meat available.
Because it's sweet. Like a dessert.
Do you only eat meat?
Kinda.
You know, I guess I should ask this. Is your tongue weird? Can you taste sweet things? Have you ever tasted anything sweet before?
Maybe. Oh! I had it was a round pastry once. Pastry? That's like a cooked, baked sweet thing.
Kind of like a pie.
That was very good.
I think you're referring to a donut.
Sure. Had a hole in the middle.
Yep. That sounds about right.
That was really good.
Cheese, the smell of all of these different pies is like walking into a bakery.
Oh, Cheese is whining and tail wagging and like, he's giving me a puppy dog eyes. He wants some of that powder.
I think Mr. Twinklehope knows about Floor.
Well, yeah, we showed him.
Yes, correct, we did. He knows that it's called a baby. He said that it would be in our best interest to remain quiet about it, which tells me that he wants us to be small and go down there for a reason, but I think we need to follow the breadcrumbs that he's leaving us to get what we want. So I think we should do it, but I just think we need to be on guard.
Extra careful.
At least if we're small, we will eat better and sleep better for God knows how long we're on this tree.
Which was named Century?
I thought he said ancient.
They've probably lived a long time.
Oh, he lived a long time, so he's ancient, so that's why his name's Century.
Now make with the powder.
Quinn is gonna make sure that we got Floor back into the cart and closed beforehand.
Now that you go to place him into the cart, the crystal have now been forming around his legs.
Oh, God, okay.
Oh, my little guy! I don't know if this will do anything, but can I try to cast Lesser Restoration on Floor in an attempt to either stop or slow the growth of the jasper? She plucks out a feather, place it over his eyes, and just kind of like press it into the jasper, and it mists a little bit over the jasper as she tries to fuel this energy to stop this from taking over the baby.
As you take your feather and you press it, sort of allowing that touch to take effect, your feather kind of like dissolves into the crystal, as it seems to have slowed it down. Not cured it, but it seems to have slowed it down.
I think I bought us just a little bit of time.
I think we've done everything that we can do for Floor.
I think so. I think we need to be little. Quinn is going to shut the door to the cab. All right, Fiffin.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Rip open the green satchel and start dusting.
Delicious.
You pass this similar green-looking dust around each and every single one of you, and then slowly you feel it enter the top of your head, like an egg running down, and it's dizzying at first, but you begin to, and you shrink down to that smaller size again. And at this point, when you arrive, you hear all smattering of conversations, people celebrating. Pass me on some of that pie right over there. No, that's for me. You take this one. Don't worry, everyone. There's plenty of pie to go around. We got all kinds. And look, we got visitors. You hear from the distance as this a little bit more plump fairy, beautiful in that reddish skin, but it's clearly wearing some type of natural makeup to her. She has these 2 buns on the very top of her head, and she flies up with an empty tray. Welcome, everyone. I'm assuming you've all met each one of the individuals that you supposedly have to meet in order to enter this here Pie Me Up celebration, where we celebrate pie, all kinds of pie for you, for me, for us, pie in the dusk, pie in the dusk, pie in the more dusk, and the champion wins the big prize at the end of the day. We got bread and butter, we got Baker's Delight, cookie flour, cookie butter, cookie mixture, cookie, I don't know what that one's all about. We got cherry flour, rotten melon, sweet cakes, and heart. All right, now whichever one you alls want, go ahead and let me know what it is, and I'll go ahead and get on over to you, all right? And she flies off. She goes, I heard you, I'm coming back. And she sort of goes in through a small shack on one of the branches where you hear what sounds like dishes of sorts, but it is just an entire chaotic scene happening within those doors.
Did any of you catch what she just said?
I didn't hear a single thing.
I heard a lot of pie flavors.
I think at the very end she said heart, which might mean they have a meat pie for you, Pond.
Oh.
Did I hear her correctly? She said that we have to meet everyone here before we're allowed to partake in whatever contest?
I think she assumed we had already met people, so I think we're good. I think we could just start ordering pie.
Okay.
You just want pie, Fiffin.
I mean, I'm just making sure Cheese gets his pie, that's all. Just looking out for Cheese.
Did you say cheese pie?
Ooh, imagine.
Ooh.
Yum.
I'm sure they have it.
Pond looks at Cheese hungrily.
Okay, excuse me.
I thought about it too, don't worry.
Flag down.
Real quick, Fiffin, just for clarification, what about floor? Did you just put some on floor as well?
Oh, yeah, I would have gone floor and then the cab and all that, so.
Okay. It only seems to work on floor. So floor shrinks within the cart, but the cart stays the same size.
We can stay in the cart for tonight.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
It's got a big old arcane lock, yeah.
Can we get out if we lock ourselves in?
Yeah, I would assume so. I haven't been in the cab. I made it strictly for floor. I didn't think this would happen, so.
Maybe we'll try one person at a time.
Right.
Are we small enough to just go through the air holes?
Oh, you know, probably. I think those seal up when the lock is on, though.
Yeah, I thought it kind of like encased the entire thing.
How does floor breathe?
Didn't think about it.
I'll try and flag somebody who looks like they're serving pie down, and
There is a group of maybe like 5 or 6 different individuals that are flying past with trays passing them through. And then on the opposite side, directly to the left of that, essentially what would be the kitchen, there is a longer table that is empty. And behind that, encased in these glowing leaves, just a pile of things that all reach up to a small little pedestal that is empty on the very top. A very, very skinny elf that is kind of like struggling to hold up the plate, and then walks up and goes, "Oh, excuse me, did you need anything?
pie?
What kind of pie would you like?
All of the cookie ones, please.
House special.
The house special. You got it, and all of the cookie ones. All right, now how will you be paying for this?
Put it on Machilius's tab.
Yes.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, 13.
If Machilius wanted you to put it in the tab, I believe that Machilius would have told us. That's just the only thing. I'll tell you what, if you want, what we can do is we could charge you all individually for your pies, you know, like we do with everybody else. All you have to do is just give up something of value, that's all.
Can I look over to the pile of stuff and see if I can find the stuff that was taken from us. Can I roll an investigation check?
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
My giant monocle. Okay, 14 plus 10, 24.
You look, and it's very hard to see, because each one of these presents, but they're just encased in leaves. So there are some that are round, some that are a little bit smaller, some that have just been retrofitted to just wrap, like, when you're in Christmas, wrapping something as fast as you can. They hold the shape of whatever's there. You can kind of make out one of the leaves seems to be holding maybe something sharp, maybe like a weapon, a small weapon, perhaps a dagger.
Does he have anything easily accessible on his belt and or person?
Yeah, you see adorned on a vine-like belt, leaves that have just been kind of shoved in that you can see has like some type of writing on it. On the very back, a small little compartment about this big with 4 little vials.
I'm gonna try to sneak one of those vials real quick.
Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
If I see that Fiffin is trying to do that, can I try and distract him by arguing with him about the price of of these pies?
Sure. So then go ahead and roll with advantage. What are you saying, Quinn? How are you distracting this individual?
I'm gonna fluff my wings out really big and just stare at him with my monocle. Listen, we are guests of Twinkle Hope, and Twinkle Hope doesn't have to answer to you about everyone that's paying on his tab.
Twinkle Hope is my uncle. There's some kind of relation that you know about that I don't know about. That seems a little confusing personally. It's just my first celebration, is all.
Oh, it's my first too. Are you from here? Where are you from?
What did you roll, Fiffin?
Yoink, I got a nat 20 for 29.
Hey.
Whoa. Okay. As Fiffin and this individual are having this kind of like tense conversation, you take a second and you see that what looks like spices now. You take them out and it looks like a little jar full of like a purple-ish powder.
I'll interrupt. Whoa. Okay, before this gets heated, here you go. Will this vial cover all 4 of us?
Now hold on. Where'd you get that spice? That's that good shit right there.
It is indeed. That's why I'm saying, will it cover all 4 of us?
Make a persuasion check.
4 plus 4 is 8 with flash of genius. 4, 12, just to hope.
I could use with that spice. That's totally fine. But I have to go and put it on over with the other gifts for the champion. And then, but that's totally fine. It'll cover 2 of you. If that's what you wish, we can serve you each a couple pies, maybe for the evening.
All right, deal. Hey, if I win this, I'm champion and I get all this stuff back, right?
Oh, yeah. If you win, you get pretty much everything on that pile right over there, minus a couple things for 2nd and 3rd place, but you would get everything right up there. We're just waiting for the crowning jewel prize. That'll be revealed later. It's a secret thing that we don't really know about until a little bit later.
And what is this competition? What does it entail? What does one who is in competitive nature do?
Well, you gotta eat pie.
Is that it?
Easy.
Eat pie. Don't get sick. Make sure the pie don't take you now. Now, see, the thing is that last time I ate a pie, I had 1 too many. I think I had about 3. And then when I woke up the next day, I couldn't remember my name. That's the catch. The pie took me. Well, we'll go ahead and get you guys some pies. Just let me know who it is. But you said cookie, and you said,
How special.
How special. That's right. Okay, I'll go ahead and get those on over for you. Just go ahead and wait for me right over here.
Can we all enter the competition? I mean, if we all wanted to.
Absolutely, if you wish. I know some of you can. And then kind of looks to you, Pond, and he goes, and you perhaps might be able to cheer him on over from the music stand if you wanted to do that. But it's up to if you wanted to compete. You can't. I don't mean any. Okay. And then just turns around and walks away.
I don't know if this would affect anything, but I can throw up my stomach and we could just put the pie in there and then I can swallow it.
Please. You still have to show us that.
Do that.
I guarantee you're the only person here that can do that.
There's a catch. There's a catch to this. These pies are magical. They are. They elicit some kind of effect. I'm sure of it.
But the good news about my stomach is that I could just throw it up again and remove the pie.
There's a part 2, the prestige.
I think we should enter the competition because I think some of that might be ours.
Oh, that's a good point.
And then we get extra goodies. Count me in.
I mean, I'm gonna eat a pie.
You watch as two fairies are sort of like stumbling in your direction, but they're both sort of like holding each other in a very drunk-like fashion. He looks at all of you, he goes, look at that, and throws up, and essentially throws up what looks like a rainbow. Then when it hits the floor, it begins to melt through the wood. Oh, all hands on deck. Oh boy.
She's a sniffing it.
Don't, jeez, no.
Is that what happens when you eat pie?
Too much pie.
If the pie is what makes them vomit rainbows, I more want to do it.
I think we shouldn't all enter the competition, but I think some of us should. Do you want to play, Pond?
I can. Or I can play some music and cheer you guys on.
You see as there's a couple of fairies that are sort of standing by. They're all wearing matching outfits, these kind of like red vests that come up, that are comprised of these runic symbols that look very druidic in fashion. And they're all just tuning these handmade like instruments. One that looks like a stand-up bass. Another one that looks like a trumpet of sorts made up of leaves. Just essentially like a big band.
This might be a really good opportunity for you to show them what you can do. The music you play always sounds so good.
I can play from the back.
I don't want to push you to do anything you're too uncomfortable with.
I'll make sure that you guys can hear me and you get the support. And then anyone else that hears it will also enjoy it, but not as much.
I'll hop over there.
One of the fairies looks to you and goes, well, hey there, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
We're doing mighty fine if our lead player here didn't break his hand. You watch as a fairy turns around with his hand just completely broken, covered in what looks like pie remains. I didn't break it, I swear, I just had too much pie. And he goes, now God damn it, did I tell you we're supposed to be professionals here?
I'm terrified of this food.
Well, you should be. This pie, as you probably have heard, will take you. And it'll take you whichever way it pleases. So best for us to just sit back and play a little music and enjoy some pie tomorrow.
Well, I would like to play some music with you if that's okay.
Well, now hold on. We can't just have anyone just roll on up here, pretend that they're some fancy schmancy player of the strings and just toot along with us. We playing with Rito tonight. Do you understand that?
Nope.
Not just anyone. We're playing with Rito.
Okay. I'm in shock and awe of this person I've never heard of before.
You ain't never heard of Rito? Now, damn, boy, you ain't got to play with us tonight. I'll tell you that right now. You ain't gonna be playing with us tonight. You ain't gonna be playing with us any day if you don't even know who Rito is. Thank you for your hospitality and...
Wait a second. You haven't even heard of who I am.
Oh, you watch as the other band members from the back go, no, hold on, hear him out. As everyone just kind of like stops. You take a point of inspiration for that.
Pond, do you have like a stage name?
Pond kind of is my stage name. I haven't even told you my real name yet.
Oh, okay, I just thought we were friends and all that, but that's fine.
I mean, we are. You called me Pond and I liked having a nickname.
Oh, that's fair. Introduce yourself. I'll back you up.
My name's Pond.
Right as you say Pond, Cheese kind of spins around, chasing his tail a little bit and kicks up a little bit of dust and dirt. I cast Minor Illusion, and it says Pond in big, vibrant, flashing colors above his head.
Yes.
This dust sort of come up and twinkle like stars and lights as your name shines bright in front of the band members. And each one of them goes, whoa, all right, now hold on there, Pond. All right, we'll hear you out. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been playing this instrument for a little while. I can do really cool things with it.
That's great. Okay, you keep up to tempo?
Yes.
All right, because I'll tell you something. Rito don't like to be held back by nobody, especially some, well, let's be honest, some famous creature like yourself.
I understand.
Meet us back here tonight when the main event's taking place. We'll have Rito fly out, and we'll go ahead and play on through the night. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right.
Oh man, I hope he likes me.
You're gonna do great.
Well, now kind of the weight of this is weighing on me. Oh boy.
As Pond is hopping away, his eyes are real wide and he's staring at the ground.
You're gonna do great. We've heard you play countless times before.
I wouldn't be able to get through this without you guys.
I'd give you a hug. I know you don't want that.
Don't you do that. I feel really bad.
Just dread over his face. Just pure sadness.
Sure enough, as you guys are kind of having this conversation, from right behind you, the same scrawny individual comes up, holding what looks like 6 pies, all stacked on top of each other, on top of these kind of like silver-looking coin pieces, it seems like. Okay, now where are y'all sitting?
Should we find a little table to compete at?
Well, this isn't the contest. The contest is later on today. This is preparation.
Oh, damn it. Why am I eating before the contest?
Well, you eat because you gotta get accustomed to the flavors. They're gonna wreck you.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You gotta prime yourself, you know?
Got it. Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, there's a table right over here. And there's just a bit of a smaller space, enough for the 4 of you guys. And he begins to plop down the pies, and he goes, "Enjoy."
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheese was digging into it as he was putting it down.
You begin to eat it, and the ones he places in front of you, Cheese, it's a pie that the crust itself is completely overbaked. It's essentially just like dark brown, almost black, if you will, where it's just been burnt. And the inside, that sort of top layer of pie that's supposed to be sort of very well kept, on the inside it looks burst. And from the center, it boils and bubbles. But it does smell, honestly, like a beef stew. But the coloration on the inside is kind of like red.
Yeah, this looks incredible. Do y'all want some of mine?
All yours.
First off, sharing is caring, Quinn. Rude of you to deny that.
What?
Second, if we have to get accustomed to pie, I feel like we should kind of just take bites of all of ours. Grab every flavor and just try it out what we can.
Buffet style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stomach on the table.
It was so worth the wait.
Oh, no.
Just put a piece of each pie in the stomach.
Oh.
Oh, yuck.
Is your stomach poisonous? Can I touch your stomach to put food on it, or?
You might want to just drop it on there, and I'll just...
All right. Cheese very gingerly takes a knife and fork and cuts a piece off and puts it on his stomach.
There is no knife and forks. It is just a plate with pie.
Might just have to baby bird that.
2 fairies are kind of like eating, and then one of the kid fairies is looking back, and then you hear, "Don't look over there, that's rude." The little one turns around. Okay, so you guys begin to baby feed Pond.
This fleshy, like, puddle of innards is just on the table. Just drop stuff on top, and I'll just shovel it back in.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Are you putting all 6 pies or 5 because you're leaving 1 for Cheese?
Oh, we're not. Are we putting the whole pie in there? I thought we were like...
Oh, no, yeah, just pieces of the pie of each one.
Oh, pieces.
So I'm
Got
trying
it.
each one.
As you take the pieces on your stomach displayed out for everyone, even some of the band members from the back are like, "A goddamn pond." There is a smattering of flavors that hits you immediately. Yes, it's your stomach and you're able to hold them, but you sort of feel that trace of something tickling within. So just roll a d6 for me.
6.
It's not much, but for a brief moment, you find yourself kind of like looking at Fiffin and Quinn and looking back at Cheese. Cheese, from his corgi face, all of a sudden his eyes kind of like bulge out, and his snout essentially comes down like a longer nose. And then Fiffin looks to you and his horns kind of like coil into its eyes and then out again. And then Quinn, when you look at Quinn, no color. Like almost if she was black and white.
Oh.
You guys hear essentially what he's saying, but slowed down.
How was it?
You guys look really weird.
Are you alright, Pond?
Yeah. I'll be fine. Be careful with that really good pie.
Okay.
You feel like you were hallucinating, not to the full degree of it, but to some degree of it. As you're talking, you find that your voice sort of like, you feel it slowing down, but then towards the tail end of whatever sentence you were saying, it speeds up again and you're back to normal.
Well, that was weird, but manageable.
So what happened? You were really going slow there for a second.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but you had some enormous eyes and a big old nose, and Fiffin looked so just out of this world, and Quinn went completely black and white.
Cheese hears that, and he starts devouring this pie. Like, I gotta know what you're talking about.
Cheese, you begin eating at it. Delicious. Roll a D100 for me.
65.
You all see Cheese just sort of standing totally normal. Out of nowhere, as he does, you feel yourself light. Almost like Floor. You begin to sort of like float, and then immediately begin to turn purple as you begin to spin in a circle.
Oh my gosh. Quinn, is this what it's like to fly?
Minus the purple.
Doggy paddling in air.
I thought eating that much pie would weigh you down a little bit.
You'd think.
We gotta get some of this for the road.
How do you feel?
I feel incredible.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and just spin him.
And as you spin him again, that same fairy, small little child kind of looks up, and then you hear the parent, Micah, stop staring! As Cheese is spinning in circles, you hear,
My offer does still stand. If you wish to meet, I will gladly meet with you. We only have but a moment of time before the celebration begins, and I have to make an appearance. But if you wish to talk about this baby situation of yours, my door's open.
Just me or all of us?
Whoever you trust.
Guys, I'm gonna look up to the window. I believe we have an engagement. Twinkle Hope knows. Machilius wants to talk about our present.
Is that a good idea? Because we can all go. I mean, we can take him, right? If he tries, we'll just take him.
I think that the four of us would be able to stop him, no problem.
I think so too, and I think this might be related to the other party that had caused us trouble, and I'm wanting to squash it if we can. So I think we should grab Floor and go pay Machilius a visit.
All right, well, you're going to have to get Cheese out of the air. Unless we can push him.
Oh, I got him. And I grab one of his paws with the Mage Hand. And then we'll just walk with him like a balloon.
Oh, perfect. If we can learn more about Floor, what he is, where he came from, or who's tracking him down, I don't think it's a bad thing to check out.
Should we bring him?
I think we have to, right?
Yeah. How do we bring him in secrecy?
I've got my hat.
You've got your hat!
Fiffin, you should carry it.
Yeah, I will happily carry the baby. Is the baby still asleep?
yeah, and now one of its feet is clustered with that red jasper.
Okay, it doesn't even look like a baby anymore.
As the four of you gather your cheese balloon and baby, even the child fairy from the distance, but Dad, I want one. You ain't gonna get no goddamn thing. You guys begin to head up towards this branch at the very, very top of it. Cheese, give me a perception check.
11.
As you guys begin to head up the branch, you now see a small, almost like birdhouse, if you will, that's been retrofitted and comprised of the tree branch itself, where a light and these fireflies sort of emit from it and around it. And as you guys begin to scale up, Cheese, from the very corner of your eye, you could have sworn that something was holding on to that branch just before you guys started walking up, and then let go, and sort of scurried off in the distance. But you can't really make out what it is, as now when you guys get up here and you break through the canopy, you see an assortment of treants that are now all in unison. Fireworks shooting off from them, the sounds of cheering and music coming from each one of these, as now as you separate yourself from the current celebration that's happening, it looks like all different kinds of creatures within Wyldacre are celebrating the journey ahead. And just as you are about to reach the door, that's a wrap.
Oh, damn.
I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. I don't trust him.
Thank you all so much for listening. Catch us in 2 weeks, where hopefully this pie contest goes in everyone's favor, and where Pond will put on a show. Thank you all so much.